BTS News Today. Time seemed to stop for a few minutes in one of the closed meeting rooms belonging to the South Korean military. No one expected that a simple conversation between two BTS members who were serving in the military could shake emotions so deeply. Jimin, with his always cheerful eyes and warm laughter that was able to light up the room, that day changed. Her figure looks calmer, more moody, and finally, tearful. An unusual cry, not because I'm tired or homesick, but because of a sentence from Jungkook, the sister he always protected and loved, which finally broke all the defenses of his heart. According to an exclusive report obtained by our team from an unnamed source, this emotional conversation between Jimin and Jungkook happened just 45 minutes ago. The room was quiet, just the two of them. Jungkook, known as a strong figure, calm, and full of mystery, he appeared more fragile than usual. There was something in his voice, in the look in his eyes, that was different. When he started the conversation, Jimin just sat beside him, smiling slightly as he patted the magne on the shoulder. They haven't talked heart-to-heart in a long time. Military, with all its busyness, not much time for personal things like this. But that day was different. Jungkook looked at Jimin with teary eyes. "Hyung," he said slowly, "if I'm honest about something, you're not gonna get mad, are you?" Jimin laughed a little, trying to break the atmosphere. "You know I've never been mad at you, right? And that's where everything changes." Jungkook lowered his head, took a deep breath, and finally said, "I saved all of it myself during this time. I'm afraid you'll be sad if you find out. But I have to be honest. I thought about giving up." Those words hit Jimin like a hurricane, as if all the oxygen in the room disappeared. She didn't cry right away. Don't talk right away. Just looking at Jungkook, transfixed, as if he couldn't believe what he had just heard. Jungkook then continued, with a trembling voice. "There were times when I felt like everything was too much. I feel like I'm losing myself. Army, the Hyung, everything is so far away. But I persisted, because I'm thinking, if I give up, I'm gonna hurt you." It was a sentence that destroyed Jimin, not only because of the content of the confession, but as he realized behind all the smiles, all the energy and strength Jungkook showed, it turned out that there was an incredible burden that he had never shared with anyone. Jimin immediately grabbed Jungkook's hand. He couldn't say anything. All he could do was cry. Tears fell nonstop, flowing down her cheeks. "Why didn't you tell me before?" she whispered softly. "Why do you have to carry all this alone?" The moment was so quiet yet so deep. No cameras, no public spotlight. Just two best friends, two brothers, who exchanged wounds and hope in the midst of such a harsh wave of military life. Jimin crying not only because of sadness, but also because of guilt. As someone who always claims to be the entertainer of the hearts of the members, Jimin felt that he failed to take care of Jungkook. In fact, during this time, he always considered that he was present enough to be the backrest of the magne. It's not. Jungkook all this time keeps the load alone, and it made Jimin feel devastated. Jimin's sobs did not stop even as Jungkook tried to calm him down. Jungkook, who previously claimed to be fragile, became a strong figure at that time. He stroked Jimin's shoulder, hugged him, and said, "You are enough, Hyung. I survived because I always remember you. Remember your smile. Remember the way you hugged me when I fell. You never fail. You're the reason I'm still here." Those words, again, added to Jimin's tears. He couldn't hide his emotions. The cry reflected the deep feelings of a brother who had just realized that the love and attention he had been given meant so much more than he thought. The conversation had a tremendous impact not only on both of them, but also for fans who later learned about the news through unofficial statements circulating in the global ARMY community. "This is the first time I've read BTS news again in a long time," wrote a fan from Brazil. "They are not just idols. They are human beings who love each other." Even more surprising, after that emotional moment, Jimin reportedly did not immediately return to his barracks. He asked permission to walk alone for a while in the courtyard of the headquarters. He seemed to be looking at the evening sky that was beginning to turn orange, and from a distance, she covered her face with her hands, still crying. Some staff who saw the incident chose not to approach, respect for the personal moments of the artist. Meanwhile, Jungkook remained in the room. He wrote something down in his notebook, an old habit he had been doing for a long time to ease his emotions. It is not known for certain what he wrote, but many speculated that he was pouring out feelings that he did not have time to say out a few hours after the incident. The name Jimin and Jungkook instantly become trending on social media. Hashtags like #StayStrongJimin, #ProtectJungkook, and #TaeKook have even appeared. It shows how much sympathy and love the army has given us from all over the world. Many shared snippets of old videos of the two of them as a reminder of how deep a fraternal relationship they have been in for more than a decade. One of the most shared uploads is a video cut from 2015 as Jimin lovingly hugs a sad Jungkook in the rehearsal room. The video, when compared to today's events, like a circle of emotions that reoccur with an inverted position. Jungkook now calms Jimin. They are not just two world idols. They are two interdependent human beings, healing each other and save each other. Not everyone can understand the depth of their relationship, but every tear, every hug, and every word spoken today proves that the love they have for each other is not just an ordinary friendship. It is a family. Another fact that was later revealed from their conversation was how much pressure Jungkook had experienced since the beginning of his military service. He felt that he had to continue to be strong, continue to appear cheerful, because he knew that the army had high hopes for him. But the burden of being a symbol of that power, it was enough to make him falter. He even once felt like he was losing his own identity, being too busy being BTS's Jungkook and forgetting what it's like to be the real Jungkook. Jimin, as a person who understands the pressure of being a public figure, she must have understood how her sister felt. He knows that fame is a double-edged sword. Proud, but at the same time painful if not shared with people who understand. Tonight, maybe they'll get back to the routine, wearing a uniform, following the instructions, and live the day as usual. But what's different is their heart. A heart that is now lighter because of the burden that used to be borne by only one person. It has now been divided in two. And for the army, this moment is not just a sad story. This is a reminder that their idols are mere mortals who also have wounds, fear, and tears. But behind all that, they also have love, courage, and incredible strength, and they found it in each other. Tomorrow might be a normal day again. But Jimin's crying today, and Jungkook's honesty, will remain an emotional note that will never be forgotten by anyone who loves them. When the night is getting late and the atmosphere of the military headquarters is getting quiet, the silence seemed to reinforce the meaning of everything that had happened that day. Jimin finally returned to his room with puffy eyes and slow steps. Some of the unit's colleagues noticed a change in the look on his face, but no one asked. They know there are things that are better left to grow and heal in silence. Meanwhile, Jungkook stays awake in the corner of his room. He stared at the ceiling with his eyes open. It was as if repeating every word he had said to Jimin a few hours earlier. In his mind, he felt jumbled, relieved to finally be able to tell the truth, but also haunted by feelings of guilt for making Jimin cry. But more than that, he knew that his honesty today was an important step toward healing himself. During this time, he harbored too much pretense of being strong, until he almost lost his way in the midst of the silence. Jungkook receives a message from Jimin. Just one sentence: "Thank you for not giving up." Jungkook read the message many times, and for the first time in the past few days, her lips smiled a little. No emoji, no extra words, but he knew the phrase came from Jimin's deepest heart, and it was enough to make him feel meaningful. The next morning, the mood changed slightly. Although no one openly talked about the events of the previous night, but there is a distinct warmth between them. Jimin looked lighter, although traces of his crying were still faintly visible under the eyes.